Hi, you have implemented a card class in Java that somebody writing an application that needs cards could use. This is not an application itself, it's a little library that somebody else can use in their application. These are the methods that I asked you to have, a couple of constructors, taking in ints for the suit and for the value, or taking in strings for the suit and value. Once the card has been created, there are 4 accessor methods which will return either ints or strings, depending on which one you choose. And last, there's a toString method which will combine the value and the suit into a single string, basically combining these two things here. The suits go from 1 through 4. That's how they are accessed up here in these methods. It's how the cards are created. That's what these values will be here. You can store them any way that you want to, but that's how the person using your class would reference each of these suits. The values for the cards go from 1 up to 13, aces being 1, and the numbered cards all being just their regular numbers, and they're the Jack, Queen, and King. Strings are single characters, and the strings for the value are all single characters except for the 10. Unfortunately, the 10 needs 2 characters, and that's why we're using strings instead of char values here. And the toString method is an interesting one. All objects have a toString method. This one, for a particular card, will return the value stuck onto the suit, value and then suit. And I gave a couple of examples here. Because every object already has a toString method, when we write a new one, it's called overriding. And so you'll put the @override keyword just before the method. And NetBeans will prompt you to do that with a little warning in yellow at the line number where you start that toString method. So you have already completed that. So that's good. And let me just show you here. There's the beginning of mine. And I'm doing something new here. I'm implementing an interface called comparable. See, I might want to be able to compare 2 cards to see which one has the higher or lower value, or to see if they have the same value. And then also I might want to compare them by suit. So we're going to do that in just a minute. Let me explain how interfaces work and how the comparable interface works. So an interface is a description of methods and possibly fields that a class has to have if it is claiming to implement an interface. So my card class implements the comparable interface, meaning I'm asserting as the programmer that my cards can be compared with each other. So let me just scroll down past this a little description of it. Here's the list of methods for this interface. Returning an int, we have compare to. T is a type which we have to describe in the class itself, and takes an object as a parameter. So we compare the current object, this object, with the specified object O, and we decide which one is sort of greater than or less than the other, or possibly equal to. Here are all the details about how it works, but basically, if this is less than other, you return a negative value. If they're the same, you return 0. And if this is greater than other, you return a positive value. And these are all int values, integers. Okay, so I have done that already for myself. Let me just show you again, though. Public class card is what you're used to. Now we have also implements comparable. So that's the name of the interface. And this one happens to take a parameter. They don't all. This one takes a parameter of card. Which type can you compare this with? So cards can be compared with cards. And over here now you'll see I have a compare to method. I'm not going to show you the method itself, but here's the method header, compare to card other. I used the word other instead of the letter O because I like that better. And it returns an int. Let me just show you how it works. First I compare the values, and then if those are equal I compare the suit. So for example, if A is the 5 of hearts and B is the 3 of diamonds, when I do A dot compare to B, I'll get a positive value because 5 is bigger than 3. So A is bigger than B because of the value being different. And the opposite of that, if I have the 3 of hearts and the 5 of diamonds, A is less than B because 3 is less than 5, and I'll get a negative value. 7 and 4, that's going to be a positive value. It doesn't matter that the suits are the same. As soon as the values are different, then I have a positive value because 7 is bigger than 4. Okay, here I have ace and ace, and so because those are the same, I need to compare the suits. I'll compare club with spade. club is 1, spade is 4, and so I return a negative value because clubs are less than spades. And in this case here, I have 6 of diamonds and another 6 of diamonds. Those are the same, and so I return 0. So your job is to change your card class to include this extra little bit in the class declaration here, implements comparable card in these little angle brackets, and then write the compare to method so that it functions the way I just described here. Okay, good luck.